OCO, what's going on, guys? Saturday morning here at Hidden Heights Farm. I woke up this morning early so I could run to town and take care of some chores, and I picked up some T-posts and some Quikrete. I have to set a couple more corner posts that I'm not able to drive in with that post driver. But anyways, woke up this morning, look outside, and I noticed one of our pygmy goats had two babies laying on the ground. So they're doing good. They're chasing their mama around everywhere. They're already playing. We're fortunate enough to have great weather for kidding. This morning it was 48 degrees. It's in the 50s now, and for the next 4 or 5 days I think it's supposed to be highs in the 60s. So that's like awesome kidding weather for the goats. I called my wife when I was in town to see what else she needed me to pick up, and had her come check on these two baby goats. Well, she comes out here to check on the two baby goats, and she looks over and notices another mom just had two more baby goats. So I got two sets of twins born just this morning, and here's the newest ones. I haven't really looked at them yet to determine the sex. And then here's the other two and their mom. So they were just born this morning. Looks like one of these is a boy, and they may both be boys, I'm not sure. So I could pick one up or pick them. I could pick them up and determine the sex, but it's really not important right now. It doesn't matter anyways. One thing we've learned here on the farm is when these goats start to go in labor, it's best to let them be. If the weather is extreme and it's going to be super cold, or it's going to be rainy and cold, we will pin them up if we know they're going to kid. But sometimes that stresses out the does, and it can cause birthing complications or stress them out, and it's just not natural for them. They're used to being in herds and they want to be with their other goats, so they don't like being pinned up in stalls. But if the temperature is extreme, then yes, it is advised to do that. But we try to leave them alone, let it all be natural. We watch them close. If there is complications, we'll step in and help them have the kids. We'll pull them or whatever we need to do. Most important thing is just keep an eye on them, and after the kids come, kind of watch them, make sure they're breathing okay, and make sure that they, within a couple hours, are up and walking around and actually drinking from their mom's teats. It's very important for them to get colostrum within the first few hours of being born. So that's one thing we try to do here on the farm that really helps have a successful kidding season. You can see these here, they're ready to go. They're up and playing, very active already. Their mom is a really good goat. We've had her for 2 years now. She has a decent milk bag, so she'll be able to take care of twins very easily. These two here was just born in the last hour. You can tell how small they are. If you're new at raising goats and you have some that are pregnant and are going to be kidding, just try to be patient with them. If the moms are acting like they're going to have kids, you know, laying down, getting up, kind of isolating themselves away from the other herd, she's probably going to have kids within the next day or two. But the best thing to do is, especially if you have young children, it's awesome to let your kids watch the process of the birth happen. But try to give them their space. Don't make them nervous. Don't pin them up unless you absolutely have to. You know, if it's going to be snowing or temperatures below freezing, go ahead and pin them up if you have a stall or something to isolate them from the rest of the herd. That way you can really keep an eye on them. Put a heat lamp in the corner, hang it to where it don't burn their hair or their back. But main thing is, if you know, everybody wants to run out there and pick them up and hold them and this and that, but sometimes, especially on first-time mothers, they get very nervous anyways because all this is new to them. So I recommend do not run out there and start picking up the kids and carrying them around and taking pictures and all that. Give them a couple days. It is good if you want to keep, you know, goats as pets to make them tame, and that is one way to make them tame, is to interact with the kids from when they're just a couple days old. That way they will come to you later on when they're bigger and such. But yeah, don't let your kids run around and make the moms nervous, because at first the moms are, first time moms aren't always the best moms. Sometimes they'll wander off and won't check on their kids very often, and some moms reject kids. It's part of raising goats. Sometimes it can be difficult. But if you let nature take its course, it usually works best. You know, just keep your space. Let the moms do their thing and try not to get in their way. Try not to get your scent on the kids is the main thing. Not at first. When kids are first born, when they drink the colostrum or the milk from their mom, and then they pass that through their body, when they go to the bathroom, their mom cleans them up, and that's how they determine that that's their kid, through the milk. Through the scent of the milk and the colostrum. So I'll show you guys the stalls we have in our barn. This is a chicken barn, so it's kind of dirty, but we do have some stalls inside the barn where I have electric, and I usually have straw down. If I have to put a doe in here that's going to be kidding or something, I'll put straw down for her, and that way we can keep them out of the extreme weather and really watch them well. But like I said, this is a goat barn that we keep the chickens in, so chickens are freaking messy. We're always having to clean these out, but I got this stall here. It's about an 8x8. Got the heat lamp hanging if we need it. Then we have another stall here. Now they're all four kind of playing together. There's nothing funner than watching a bunch of little kids just a couple days old, a couple weeks old, start playing together. Like I said, guys, the weather is perfect for kidding season right now, so we couldn't have got any luckier. These are the pygmy goats that we have, the little herd of pygmy goats we have just pretty much for fun, for the kids. They're not worth a lot of money, but still, like anything else, you want to make sure they have good lives and everybody's healthy. They're waiting for their mom to come back and feed them. I don't know what she's doing. So another little tip, if you do have goats and you do know that one is going to be coming in labor within a day or so, don't feed them very much. A lot of times they won't eat if they're laying down and pawing at the ground and getting up and moving around. You know they're getting really close, especially if you see some discharge or a plug from their grill parts. If you feed them a ton of food and they do eat it, and they are within time of having kids, it can cause complications. If they eat too much, if they eat too much feed right before they're fixing the kid, it'll take up a lot of space in their stomach. And they need all the space they can get in case those babies are backwards. They got to turn them around. The babies got to turn around and come out just right. So I don't advise feeding them a ton right before they're going to kid. But right now I'm going to get some feed for these moms because they deserve it. They've had 2 sets of twins and that's hard work for them. So it's very important the first few days especially. Feed them some good feed. Get them some protein. Some higher protein like hay, like alfalfa. And that way they'll put on a lot better milk production and those babies will get a really good start in the world. I think they got a stampede every time they see a bucket. Alright guys, like I said, it's very important when they first have their kids to make sure they get plenty of grain and good hay to help their milk flow. Make sure the kids are getting enough food and it helps them get a good start in life. And absolutely make sure they have fresh, clean water. This yellow doe here, she's fixing the kid. Her bag's getting a little bigger. I got a little young rooster here. He's starting to breed some of the hens, so the big rooster sees him as competition and tries to whip him every time he gets close. But as you can see, the 2 older kids that was born first this morning, they're doing wonderful. They're a little bit bigger than the other set of kids that was born. She's got a white ring around her front wrist. That's cool. Almost has one on the back. Oh, that's a little boy. Okay, so it's been a couple hours since the white set of twins has been born, and I noticed the mom had nothing to do with the babies going, like they were staying in the barn and she was just out in the field roaming around. She never did go back to the barn. So like I said, you never know what you have to do, you know, whether to pin them up or not. In this case we chose not to, but now since we noticed that she didn't have anything to do with the kids, we went ahead and caught her and pinned her up in a stall with the babies, and now they are eating. I gave the mom a little bit of grain here in the stall and put the babies in here, and she kind of spread her legs a little bit and allowed them access to her udder, so she's not rejecting the kids. She's a first-time mom, so she might be a little bit confused, but she's now eating and letting them eat off of her. And she hasn't moved since we put the kids on her. They're getting their bellies full now. So we'll probably leave her pinned up until this evening, at least a couple more hours, and maybe overnight. Just keep checking back and seeing the progress. That make sure she is bonding with the kids. So we're out here checking on the other goats, and one of the babies ran up to Kaya and wanted to play with her. Your baby's fine, Shadow. Don't play with it too much, Kaya. Just... The other one's behind you. Be real still. Shadow's actually a pretty friendly goat, so I don't think she'll mind if the kids play with her babies too much. A little bit anyway. What are they, Skeeter? What are they, Skeeter? Get them! They ain't gonna hurt you. What do you think, Bear? Just wanted to make a quick video today showing the new additions to the farm, the new kids, the 2 sets of twins that was born. It looks like there's going to be a couple more within maybe a couple days, maybe within the next week. As soon as I get some more babies, I'll make another video and keep you guys updated. If you guys got any questions at all about raising goats, if you're a first timer, send me a message, comment, and I'm not a pro at raising goats, but we've been doing it for several years, so we kind of know what to do and what not to do to help things go a little better. But it can be a lot of fun and enjoyment, but it can be sad sometimes. If you check out my buddy Dutch's channel, Keeping It Dutch, he just had a couple sets of lambs born from some hair sheep, and he had some complications with, I think, 1 or 2 sets of them. So go check out his channel. I know he's bottle feeding one right now, and that's just the way farming goes. Not everything is a perfect world, so you got to be ready to expect things you don't want to have to deal with, but that's just part of it. So anyways, thanks for watching this video. Please leave a comment, hit that thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel for more videos coming soon. Thank you. It puts a lot more stuff